Yes, as far as I know. I really don't know. I've never watched. Like council meetings, they do those live too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they record them also.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're online?
Yep, I got to put the mics up.
Okay.
Hey, did the mail go out on Monday?
The mail, they did not do any mail service yesterday.
All right.
Yes,
Shut down.
I just wondered.
Yeah, but today they did.
I keep thinking today's Wednesday.
Are you ready? Would you like to call roll?
Yeah.
I know you wouldn't like to, but I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Mr. Salyers, Mr. Ball, Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Diener,
Yes.
Mr. Menser,
Yep.
and Ms. Wagner.
Yes.
All present and accounted for. Okay, so, we got the minutes from November. Everybody, I've got copies of them here if you didn't have them. They're having problems. The city has upgraded their technology and some things are not getting out. So does anybody have anything they'd like to change or add with these minutes? I didn't call you Laura last month, so I think we're good on that.
That's good. No, not a correction, just an update, but so that's really not for the minutes.
Okay, well, then I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
I move.
A second.
You second? All right, all in favor? Good. We're good, minutes are good. And then as far as the financial side of it, the city has not released any money yet into any of the accounts, so I can't tell you where we are with that. We expect to be funded like we were last year, but we don't know yet, officially. Okay, so, we got the TCP on here. I know that you've gotten everything turned in. Brian, you started planning some of those, so not very far along yet, probably.
Not now.
Not now. And, yeah, you probably can't even find the flags now.
Haven't even looked.
Yeah. So, do we really need to wait for the snow to melt, or when do we pick up doing it?
We'll just play it by ear. The ground's frozen underneath the snow, so the ground's gonna thaw out a little bit and
Then you can dig, so.
yeah,
Probably not the month of February.
probably not.
Okay. All right. So the West End, Mansfield Avenue, and Clintonville, I've got all the documents ready to go, but have not made any phone calls yet on those. Every time I had time when I thought I could get something done, the weather was bad, and when I didn't have time, the weather was good. So, we're not anywhere with that. And then the invasive removal on here, that's part of the, we talked about that last year, we made the official program where we removed the invasive trees and bushes and shrubs. And Zane was working on a list, but he's not here today, so I can't give you any update on that. But we still intend to remove at least 80 pear trees in the community and then do the invasive removals in the parks. So, this is gonna be a good, quick meeting. I'm gonna ask Lynanne to speak with you. She's gonna, meet with the folks for America 250 and Experience Mount Vernon on some projects that are going on. I'm gonna let her talk about those, and then we'll move on from some other things.
Yes, so on Monday, I'm on the board of Experience Mount Vernon, and we have a Knox County Master Gardeners coming to make a presentation to the Aesthetics Committee of Experience Mount Vernon. The Aesthetics Committee are the folks that do the hanging baskets, and they are very much about the daily aesthetic that we maintain in downtown Mount Vernon, where and so the Master Gardeners of Knox County have because I think they think that they have better ideas on, like bushes and just flowers, things that are actually in the ground, nothing to do with the hanging baskets, that, they would like to, like, help us so that we have better plant life in downtown, that like some of our bushes look kind of rough and stuff, and they have a plan that they would like to pitch to Experience Mount Vernon, to sort of really beef up, the really beautiful downtown things that we attend to. Again, this is part of the aesthetics committee. Anyone is available to go that's on the board or in any of the committees of Experience Mount Vernon. So I asked Doc if he would like to go, because I figure that the Shade Tree Commission would love to know what the Master Gardeners have in mind. They're working closely with Scott Hugler, who, is TD Landscaping. I always forget the first initial. And he's, very active in the aesthetics committee, and, so I said I thought that the Shade Tree would like to be present to see if there was some way that we could hear and sort of get a picture of what they have in mind. So I asked Doc, he can't be there. I will be there no matter what. But, so I will be able to sort of capture what they're saying and report back to us, and, see how,
Will you send it back in an email so we can see it?
Huh?
Sorry.
No, don't be
My
sorry.
mouth is so dry.
Don't worry about
Are
it.
you guys sending back, can you follow up with an email so we can see?
I can,
Or is it not public knowledge?
I'm sure that it's public information, but yeah, I'll do my best to summarize and
That's
sort of
cool.
let us know. But
That's cool.
again, if Sarah wanted to come with or whatever, by all means,
You said it's coming
it's Monday. It's Monday.
And where?
It's at the Grand Hotel. No, it's at 1 o'clock.
Oh, did you say?
It's at 1 o'clock, and it's the normal aesthetics committee meeting. Actually, it's at 1:30. So anyway, I can't tell you what they're gonna say, but I'm really keen to hear what they have to say. And then also on next Tuesday at 3 o'clock, the America 250, there's a first big America 250 overview meeting, and all people were in that are potentially involved in committees and commissions and any sort of, any sort of group that would have an interest to know what the America 250 Ohio has in mind for Knox County. The Knox County America 250. They're gonna sort of pitch everything. And so I again thought that Doc might wanna go with me to that. I'm going again as a member of council, but I thought I'm definitely gonna go also wearing a shade tree hat. And I told Olivia Toth, I said, I'm going with many hats, one of them being shade tree. We'd like to participate and do some sort of tree, and she said that would be awesome. So I will be going to that too. That is next Tuesday at 3 o'clock at the little, I always forget what that's called.
Train station.
The train station. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Yep.
CAC or that's.
Yeah, exactly. CAC or whatever. Yeah, it was supposed to be today, right now, and Doc thought that I was gonna miss, but they canceled at the last minute because of the weather, and rescheduled it for next Tuesday at 3. So yeah.
When I talked to Olivia, early on in this last year, we're planning on planting trees in the meadows at Arrow Foundation
Yes,
Park. and we
I
planted
knew
a
there
tree
was
there.
something.
So that's where we'd still like to place a
Yes.
tree. Ralston Art Memorial makes the concrete markers that we use on our trees when we do memorial trees. Well, now they have it's 6 by 14 by 12, I think it is, granite marker that they will do. It's cost $250. I thought for something like America 250, we should use a granite marker instead of a concrete marker.
Sure.
So I imagine we'll be on the hook for that.
Where do you get these hats, these shade tree?
Well, this is
Oh.
one right here. This
Doc would look good in
Yeah, I
that.
know.
It needs a bigger bow.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it. So Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
So, yeah, you'll get some,
I will get all kinds of good information from both meetings and share with the commission.
all right. Very good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have that on the agenda for next week or next month to kind of
Mhm.
go. Okay, I've got Cougar Drive on here. All the trees got planted on Cougar Drive, both sides of Cougar Drive. You've been down through there, it really, it's gonna bring that up. I talked to Tom Hinkle, you know, when we did Shalmar Park, we put the balusters along the sidewalk so they couldn't drive into the park. About putting balusters along so they can't drive through the ditch and run the kids over on a hurry to get out.
What's
Not that that
balusters?
would happen. The telephone poles, they're about so high.
What are they?
Call them baluster? Is that the quick term, Quentin? Baluster? The posts we put around the parks?
Bollards.
Bollards. Yeah, okay. I can't pronounce it. Bollards.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
When did you guys plan on Cougar Drive?
Plan on planting?
No, when did you plant the trees?
Well, planted them
Last month, about.
sometime.
Oh, I
last
did
month.
see you guys there, yeah. I was
Yeah,
just
that
wondering.
one day when it was like brutally cold.
Yeah,
The wind was whipping, they were out there planting trees.
I was just curious. I mean,
And all along South Division, those are replaced too, right?
Yes,
That
and
was
then,
good.
yeah, we got the pear trees out of South Division, those all got replaced. That was part of the invasive removal.
whatever. What happened that, down by that school, remember we were down there? Didn't we want trees down there too? Did that
They're
ever get
there.
done?
Glenwood
there.
School, yes,
They're
they're there.
Are they?
Yes,
they
they're
look
there.
nice too.
Good.
I shouldn't even say it, my only little concern this week was, you know, they're doing all the gas lines. They're digging along there, I'm like, trees.
Yeah,
They're putting new
So
gas
they got
lines
the
in.
trees
us.
down there.
Yeah, they look nice.
yeah, they're gonna look nice.
Good.
So, that part's done. The grant, we asked for a grant with, Department of Forestry, USDA, and did not get it to plant 128 trees in the industrial park. We didn't get the grant, so I would
Did
like.
they say why? Or they just say no?
No, they just say no. I've never had anybody tell me why.
I just wondered.
So I would still like to do that project. So when we know how much money we have, we'll talk about that again. We
How
had,
much was the grant that we applied for?
we applied for $43,000. What we asked for. We didn't get it. So I'd like to do that. That's why I have the industrial park on here, but we'll have to talk about that once we know where we are financially. And then I have the YMCA on here. You know, we put some trees in there last year, and they really need some more trees. But they are, not gonna be able to do much this year on their end, cause I offered to work with them. So I would
Is
like.
that because of the, like, now I'm gonna say the wrong word, the tree well that needed to go in?
Yeah, the tree
And
wells,
And is that because we were asking them to pay for those?
yes. So I've talked to John Campbell. He is going to go in and do some measurements and come up with an idea of what it might cost to do something like this. And his students would be able to do it in the spring. So, you've seen that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
I see.
Sure.
Thank you.
So, depending on what John Campbell says and where we are financially, that's something else I'd like to get taken care of this year. I just thought we're doing Arbor Day at the Salvation Army. You know, they're a community organization that's good for the community. The YMCA is great for the community. This is something they would need, could use. It'd be good for their parking lot and for the aesthetics. And we also have trees on Mulberry Street that are growing over the curb and tearing up the sidewalk that probably don't have very many years left in them. So I'd like to get some trees there. Get them there earlier so we aren't just barren. So that's why that's on why it's on the list. And then I've got Arrow Foundation Park Meadows. We talked about that last year. We're gonna plant a few trees in there, and that's where we wanna put the American 250 tree.
If the Career Center can't do this, was there a price tag for,
Not yet.
the Y just knows they
Well,
can't?
they got a verbal from somebody, but I've made phone calls and not gotten, there was nothing written, so I don't have any real numbers. But once John Campbell does his work, he'll know the materials, and then go from there if he can't say if he can't. He said he could, and having the Career Center do it, it's gonna be a fraction of the cost of anything else.
Right.
And if they're always willing to help us with projects, and like that, I like that project, so. Okay, questions? Okay, this is gonna be a really quick meeting. The only other thing I have on here that I wasn't on it, that things come up, is, every Friday, the engineering department has a meeting, and everybody that's working in the department talks about what their projects are and what's going on, so everybody in the department knows what's happening, and I think it's been a great thing, and I've enjoyed sitting in on it. And they let me talk about trees too, which, they probably hate it, but I do it anyway.
Very nerd.
So, but the city, this is gonna be a very active construction season for the city of Mount Vernon. So I asked Quentin if he would just kinda give everybody a rundown of what's gonna happen here, what the plans are for this year. Just so you'll know, or be aware
I'm
of
gonna do my best.
what we've got, what the city has planned for this year. And a lot of it will involve us,
So,
eventually.
I'll start off with the two CDBG projects we have. So these are already awarded projects that we have a deadline this year. It's possible that we might maybe request an extension for one or both of them. Chances are we'd only get an extension for one, not both. So the first one is West Sugar Street. So this is the Riverside Park Neighborhood Revitalization Grant through the CDBG program. So on West Sugar Street, we are looking at reconstructing the entire street from the far west end, which is at Riverside Park, to Adams Street. So it's basically that whole section there. I think it's about 3 or 4 blocks. Right now, it's I think 20-foot wide street. The tree lawn is completely used for parking, so people have gravel driveways in there. And the current proposal, which still needs to go through some vetting and some public input processes, is to construct a 30-foot wide street, which I know that's wider, right? But 30-foot wide street with curb and gutter, so that all the parking happens on the street. So we'd still have two-way traffic, parking on both sides of the street, but it would give us an 8-foot wide tree lawn. There are like no trees on West Sugar Street in the tree lawn because there isn't a tree lawn. So we're gonna have a big opportunity here to plant a lot of trees in that tree lawn. So that's the first one I wanted to bring up. The next one is Burgess and Hamtramck Street. Unfortunately, this one isn't gonna provide a lot of opportunity for plantings, but we're doing our best. One of the things we're doing, because the tree lawns that are there are at most 4.5 feet, sometimes a lot smaller than that. When we can, we're gonna push the sidewalk up to the curb and gutter so that there will actually be more planting space behind the sidewalk. So instead of having a small area between the curb and between the sidewalk, we're gonna push the sidewalk up against the curb so that there will be tree planting space behind the sidewalk and it won't be confined between the curb and the sidewalk. Does that make sense? So if we're planting a tree, it'll look like it's somebody's front yard. It'll actually be in the right of way. And obviously in those cases, you'll want to work closely with the homeowners on that to make sure that they're trees that they want. Since this won't be a typical tree lawn type planting, it'll feel more like it's in their front yard, even though it'll technically be in the right of way. The next one, State Route 13 realignment. It's a huge project. It's going to be a multi-year project. This year, there definitely won't be any tree plantings going on. This is going to be a year of getting demolition done first, and then kind of doing some mass grading. Our goal this year is to not do any major maintenance of traffic sort of stuff, so we don't want to reroute traffic on any of the existing streets this year because we probably won't be able to open them up before winter when they have to stop construction. So the goal is to get a lot of the grading and stuff that we can done without hurting traffic on Sandusky Street, Mulberry Street, or South Main Street, and doing the demolition that we can in prep for coming back next spring and then shutting down streets and working through our maintenance of traffic plans to construct the new roads. So the planting is, for those trees, you're probably looking at late 27 or early 28, maybe even later. That's like being optimistic. And we actually do have a landscaping plan for that, which has come before the commission before. If anybody wants a copy of that, I'd be happy to print one out for you. And just because it's on the landscaping plan, we have a little bit of leeway. I think if we work with ODOT and we say, hey, actually, we don't want to plant an elm here, we want to plant an oak. I don't think they're gonna, care too much about that as long as we don't try to change it too much. South End pedestrian, so this is on, for this phase, it's on Martinsburg Road. So we're looking at adding and replacing sidewalk on the west side of Martinsburg Road. There are a lot of trees in this section that have already kind of been massacred by the utility companies, and will be coming down this year for that project. So I think everybody here actually was on the walk that we did last year, where we looked at all the trees and pretty much agreed that all the trees that are in the way are, for the most part, not in very good condition anyway. So we'll be looking forward to replanting that when we're done. We don't have final design on that yet. I think we are just finishing up the stage 3 plans. So after stage 3, we'll have our final tracings, which is kind of like what goes to construction. Memorial Park, if you haven't heard, we're going to be completely redoing the softball fields there. This year, our first goal is to reconstruct the concession stand, so that won't really affect much. We shouldn't really be impacting any of the existing trees there. I think in the new layout of the softball fields, there might be 1 or 2 trees, smaller trees, that are going to have to come out. But since this is going to be sort of the permanent look for Memorial Park when we're done, we'll be able to plant trees pretty much wherever we want in the space that's left over. So that'll be good. The goal would be to have the concession stands done this spring, ideally in time for the spring ball season, to have those open before then. It's possible they won't be open on opening day, but we'll get them open during the season. And then sometime around July, we'd shut that part of the park down, tear out the existing fields, put in new fields, and get everything seeded in the fall so that they could play the next spring. So hopefully we'd like to plant, if there's any tree plantings you want to do, we'd like to do those maybe late this year or early next year, to kind of have that fresh new look just be right there when they go back to play next year. West Gambier Street. So if you know where the dog fountain is, it's at the corner of South Main and West Gambier. On the north side of West Gambier Street, the sidewalk there it's okay, and there's some utility work that needs to be done that's going to cause the sidewalk to have to be ripped out. So in cooperation with the tenant or the property owner there who's having that utility work done, we are going to put back new sidewalk, and in doing that, we're going to match what's happening on the south side of the street with the dog park. So we're going to put up the lights that are as close as we can, match those lights. We're going to put in 3 tree pits. So they're 3x6 sort of semicircles, 6 feet wide and then 3 feet deep. So it's a 3-foot radius circle, but you've only got half of it. And probably just the smaller ornamental trees that we have there. I don't know what kind of trees those are. A crab apple or something,
I think they
maybe.
were crab apple, like Adirondack or
Yeah. So we'd probably like to match that or do something similar to that, for whatever you guys decide to do there.
Is that just by the Freedom Center side?
Yep, it's right by where the new Freedom Center is. Yep. Arch Park restroom. So thankfully, with this design, this is a project that we got a NatureWorks grant for. We won't have to remove any of the trees there. The plans say specifically, do not disturb existing trees, and I'm pretty confident we'll be able to keep those trees that are there. I think they're sweet gums.
those are sweet gum.
Yeah, they're out there, really big, nice looking sweet gums too. But when we're done, again, if you want to plant more trees around it, since this is going to be hopefully more of a permanent look for Arch Park once we get the restroom and the pavilion put in, be a good time to do it and kind of have the trees grow up, and get big and age with the facilities that we're building. And then the last one I got for you, I'm sure I'm probably leaving out several construction projects. These are just the ones that came to mind. The Veterans Walk of Honor. So we are looking at relocating that from the square to the newly established American Heritage Park where the CA&C train depot is. So that's where the Statue of Liberty, just on the south side of the viaduct bridge. So in doing that, there are a few trees that might have to come out. There's sort of a mess of, I don't know if it's like walnut and cottonwood or something. It's like 3 trees kind of all growing up together. Clearly not planted. They, just naturally grew. Those might be impacted, so we might just be removing those. And then there's one of the evergreens there. I think it's a spruce. Might be impacted as well. Might have to come out. But in doing this project, again, this is gonna be sort of the permanent look for that park. You know, I don't foresee there being anything else really going in that space. So it's a good time to plant trees, and one of the actually the centerpiece of the walk will be having a large, eventually large oak tree in the middle, you know, for people to hang their yellow ribbons on or whatever, just to kind of memorialize the veterans walk there. So that'll be a large, I think it's a 12-foot diameter planting area, you know, landscaped area with a bench that goes around it.
There's some kind of bell?
Yeah, so
Going
that'll be
there.
going nearby. Kind of, there's that central walk that goes down toward the river. That'll just be on the east side of that walkway.
What's the timeline on that?
For the Veterans Walk?
Yeah, do we wanna have that done before like 4th of July or?
Yeah, our goal is, it'd be really cool to have it done before Memorial Day,
Memorial Day,
but
yeah.
I think 4th of July is a more realistic
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah, I figured.
So.
What's the bell?
So it's actually already made. Basically what it is, it's a series of bells that are tuned, and you just take a stick and you go around and hit them. You run around in a circle and hit them, and it'll play My Country 'Tis of Thee, I think.
Did Tanner get enough donations for it yet? You know?
Well, we're always open to more donations, if that's what you're
I
asking.
just wondered if you-
I'm not sure.
What you guys do with the trees, like, I didn't wanna stop you in your thing, but you guys, like Homes Tire, you guys took out a lot of trees on here. Do you guys take them up and put them somewhere else, or?
The apple trees were cut out by AEP.
Yeah.
They took those out.
They just
so
whacked them,
yeah,
that'll give us a
They were in
chance
there
to-
right away. We have no.
I mean, I don't know that you could have replanted. They were 50-year-old apple trees. I'm sure the roots were probably pretty wild.
I just wondered.
Yeah, I don't know what's the timeline on.
6 to 8 inch caliper trees about as big as
You can get.
movable.
They didn't give us the option.
So we have moved trees before. Typically, depending on the size, it's more cost efficient, and it's just easier to just plant a new tree, depending on how, you know, important that tree is.
We're still trying to source the apple trees. The source we had before, we
Yeah.
haven't gotten any contact back from them.
So once the whole 13 quarter is done, we're gonna put some back in, cause that was,
Plant them back in. And then,
that was his land holding, right? along there.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
There is a nursery in Washington State that has them, so we can get them from there, but we'd like to get them a little closer.
Or I can't find you,
Pardon?
you can't find your trees.
Well, we have to be Johnny Appleseed.
And that area will actually, there will be much more green space there at the end of the project, because currently we're like Phillip Drive and Mulberry Street turn to go east. That'll be moved north, so it won't be as sharp of a turn. So there'll be a lot more green space in that area. It'll be almost like a little park there. So
All right, thank you.
yep.
Now that I mentioned the Johnny Appleseed trees, in Nova, Ohio, which is just north of Mansfield, there's a 157-year-old Johnny Appleseed tree that has been dated back to one of his original trees.
Wow.
I know the museum, the Knox County Historical Society Museum, got a gift of, part of a dead one, but that was supposed to be from a, oh, that was from a Johnny Appleseed, so we have a big jacket.
Of an old,
It's not alive,
It's
but
not alive, darn
it's
it.
still kinda cool.
darn it. All right, well. Oh, we did get the nursery fence up. We are gonna plant sycamores in the spring. We don't wanna plant them when there's a foot of snow. Not sycamores, sequoias.
Awesome.
So those still are going in this year. All right, anybody else have anything else? Entertain a motion.
I motion we close the meeting.
I'll second.
I'll second it.
Okay, jeez. You guys
All
wanna
right,
stay here,
it's
you stay
official.
here then.
It's official. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, you got a couple minutes?
Me?
Yes.
I don't know if you want a copy of that, I did send it, Brian should have it, but that's my order for for my half of the TCP from,
Oh, your TCP